and welcome to Digital Design 1. I am Mrs. Sylvius, and I am super stoked to be your teacher for this course. This is one of my favorite courses to teach because we just get to do so many cool things, and I really do love digital design and web design. I have been also doing this since I was about 16 years old because I took this class when I went to Cheney High School, and it kind of opened my eyes to a beautiful world of design, and I am excited for you to be able to also experience this. I would also say that these skills are super useful because everyone in the entire world has a business. So when you're talking about businesses, you're talking about people who own their own businesses and need websites and graphics and usually advertisements. And now in the world of social media, lots of different things. So the beauty of digital design, web design is even if you're not going to go out and be a designer for the rest of your life, you're not going to do any form of web design or digital design, having these skills will make you a more marketable person. I think about people who have jobs where you would think, hey, they don't do any digital design at all. Like, for instance, when I was the receptionist of a salon and spa back in the day, I was supposed to take phone calls and do schedules and check clients out, but I ended up doing a lot more graphic design because they figured out that I had graphic design skills, and they wanted me making flyers and social media posts and all these different things, and that's what I ended up spending a majority of my time doing. I think about other people I know who work in the worlds of sales, and they're constantly making flyers for their products. You have so many different ways that you're going to have your businesses out there, and maybe you're even going to make your own small business or side hustle, and you're going to need some of these skills, and just having them in your back pocket is going to be a really awesome thing. So what I want to start with is, when your imagination is your only limitation, what can happen? If you free yourself and let yourself think beyond just what you can see on your screen, you can make anything. Because the beautiful thing about digital design and web design is that literally everything is digital. So you can make whatever you want, and that's the beauty of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and watch a quick video that showcases a breakdown of what it would look like if you had, your imagination being your only limitation. So here we go. So the beauty of this is that you can see taking a simple wedding photo and putting your imagination to work can really create something new. And I think this is important because your imagination, again, will be your only limitation in here. And I'll be challenging you to really push yourself. I can't teach you everything in these programs. There's too much for me to be even able to teach in Photoshop alone. And we learn so much more than that. And so it's really important that you take that time to push yourself. And when you think a project is done, I can tell you it probably isn't. Or if it is, then move on to something new and try something new, because there is so much that you can learn and you're going to be able to take control of what you learn. All right. So that's a quick time lapse of Photoshop. And what I want to show is a quick time lapse of what a website might look like when we're working on that. So here's one really quickly about a website. And I'm just going to show a piece of it, and then I'm going to skip to the end so you can see it. So one thing that's important about websites is that you can see that he's starting in Photoshop to create this website. And that's pretty important because actually you would think that a website would start in coding. But as he moves forward, you'll see that he begins then to code his website, working with lots of different pieces for it. And in the end is then testing his website online. And that's kind of how the world of web design works. And it's important to note that he started off with creating a plan, and it just kind of keeps moving through as he continues to work on his website. Lots of graphical pieces as well as coding. So digital design or web design, whatever you want to call it, we kind of use those words interchangeably because they are something that kind of goes hand in hand. What I want to do first is I want to kind of introduce myself. I know that we'll probably meet each other in the hybrid model, but I want to make sure that you know who I am in all these videos that I'm going to be talking to you in. So I'm Mrs. Silvius. This is my family over here. I guess I should probably like move myself so I'm not on top of my picture, huh? I am a mother, wife, teacher. This is what I wanted to do since I was 16 years old. And I'm also the yearbook lady. That's also the thing I get seen as because I run the yearbook program here at the high school. I'm actually from Cheney. I grew up here since I was 9 years old. And my husband and I met in high school here at Cheney High School. We're high school sweethearts. And we graduated in 2008. So you might be thinking, well, she's kind of crazy because she wanted to come back to Cheney. But I actually really do love this community. And I do love teaching here. So this is my dream job, and I got to be here really quickly. I also am a tabletop gamer and video game player. Not so much on the video games just because my kiddos are really into screen time, so we try to limit that as much as possible. But my husband and I do play a ton of tabletop games. And when I say tabletop games, I'm not talking like Monopoly or the Game of Life. I'm talking like Settlers of Catan, Gloomhaven, right now we're playing a lot of Unmatched. We play D&D as well, and that's kind of hard in the COVID world, but we do play all of those kinds of things, and we have a whole wall at home full of tabletop games. I also love to binge watch TV shows, so if you have something you'd like to recommend, let me know. I'll put it on my list. This is what I do in my off time. I'm also a pretty dedicated person. I would also say that I am a loud, straight to the point, and sarcastic person. Hopefully I'll be loud enough to hear through masks and those kinds of things. But I think the biggest thing that I want to say about myself is that the way that I teach is I do not give you the answer. So I am here to facilitate your learning. I'm here to help you succeed, but I'm not going to give you that answer. So if you're asking me like, where do I find something or where do I do this? I'm going to probably respond with a question. And I know that's hard, but the reason is because I teach technology classes and technology changes all the time. So you need to become familiar and comfortable with being able to do things on your own. So that's just a little bit about me. And then the next question I always get is, well, what is web design or digital design? What is this class? So this class is about a lot of different things and kind of dabbling in all these little pieces. We cover web-based design for websites or web pages where we learn how to code HTML, CSS3, and JavaScript. But I don't want you to get scared by the coding piece of this class. We go very slow. I make sure everybody understands, and it's actually a really cool thing to have in your back pocket, and there's a lot of design in it. You can do a lot with just code, surprisingly, to make things look pretty. And then there's the graphics part of it, whether those are digital designs for on the web or social media or anything like that, or they're print designs that will actually physically print out, or they're animated. So when you take Digital Design 1 and 2, you're learning these programming languages, you're learning these programs of Photoshop, Illustrator, Dreamweaver, and not only that, but you're also learning how to bring it all together and do it all together. I would also say that these courses, if you take Digital Design 1 and 2, they count as an art credit and a CTE credit, and they also have free college credit associated with them. I think it's 24 credits now from SFCC or SCC that you can get for free if you complete both of them with a C or higher. And those college credits, even if you're not going to go to SCC or SFCC, can transfer to any college. So that's a little bit about this course, and let's go ahead and get started.